Since last year, I've been experimenting with a new fat loss protocol that has accelerated my clients' results. This works exceptionally well for people with more than 20 pounds to lose and who are considered metabolically unhealthy. It's called the Metabolic Priming Protocol, and it's worked so well for my client Brad that he dropped 10.1 pounds in 2 weeks and 14 pounds in a month. And in just over 2 months, he's lost 30.4 pounds of fat and added 3 pounds of lean mass to his frame and reduced his body fat levels from 33.1 to 23% confirmed by DEXA. So in today's video, I want to share with you the protocol and how we apply it to our clients so you can get the best results in record time. And by the way, my name is Dango. I've been a coach for 20 years. I've owned a body transformation center for 11 years, sold that in 2018, and since then, I've been helping high-achieving business owners transform their bodies with ease and minimal stress. So here's the deal. When you're starting out on a fat loss plan, there are a couple of factors that are working in your favor. Number one is that you can go hard with your cut due to higher motivation levels and your body's initial response to leaning out. Number two is that you can also change your taste receptors to start craving healthy foods, but a little more on this later. Number three, if you have a lot more weight to lose, this can help you jumpstart the process and get the ball rolling. One of my core philosophies is that you must go to your extremes to find your balance. And also, it's better to do the hard work up front and then moderate things as you go deeper. That said, here's the first step. So step one, we start with the 14-day metabolic reset. We kick things off with a protein-sparing modified fast. This short, powerful reset involves eating lean proteins, green veggies, and minimal fats. This is designed to drop fat while protecting your muscle rapidly to maintain a healthy metabolism. While you consume much fewer calories thanks to the nutrient-dense high-protein meals, you will stay full, energized, and mentally sharp. But one thing I will mention is the fact that it does take about 3 to 5 days for you to adapt to this particular diet. So you will feel somewhat hungry, you will feel somewhat fatigued, especially in the beginning, but that will all go away usually after day 5. And most importantly, this diet will help you rewire your cravings and break the cycle of processed food dependency. For Brad, we took advantage of his high levels of motivation. We didn't treat this as a diet, but as a metabolic intervention to kickstart fat loss and prime his body for long-term change. And we didn't do this forever, only for 14 days, which is the sweet spot. And after this, I'll get into the refeed, which I'll discuss later on. And by the way, if you want a free guide on how to do the protein sparing modified fast, you can grab it at the link below. So step 2 is what I call strength circuits. The most important part of this protocol is the fact that we want to lose body fat, not muscle. When you cut calories, your body adapts to the new calorie count to conserve energy. It does this in many different ways, but one of the worst ways it does this is by reducing muscle mass. By combining the metabolic reset we were using in step 1 with a well-programmed strength training workout focused on progressive overload, we can maintain, if not build, some muscle while cutting. We employed a workout called strength circuits, which has been proven to help you build muscle while spending 33 to 50% less time in the gym. We call it strength circuits because it has you supersetting movements that don't compete with one another. So let's just say you're doing 10 reps of a bicep curl, and then right after that, you're going to do 10 reps of a tricep extension. And because I work with time-starved, busy business owners, I find that this is the best way to gain muscle in a short amount of time, while also adding a slight cardiovascular component to the workout as well. Which leads me to step 3, which is called shadow movement. So as stated before, when you cut calories, your body adapts to conserve energy, and one of the ways it does this is by reducing your movement throughout the day. So Brad is one of the busiest people you'll ever meet, and we worked together during a time that was considered the high season in his profession. So spending the time to do 10K steps a day was a non-starter. So we employed something that I call shadow movement, and we had him invest in a treadmill desk. He conducted all of his meetings on his treadmill desk, and he automatically shot up from taking around 4,000 to 6,000 steps to 10 to 15,000 steps a day with this simple change alone. But the steps, he also noticed that his brain also worked better simply by moving more. And this just makes sense. Movement stimulates the release of endorphins and neurotransmitters, which is a massive net positive for your brain and mood. The key to a shadow habit is stacking one habit on top of another. This crushes 2 birds with 1 stone. And in Brad's case, this enabled him to run better meetings while getting his steps in, which is a win. So step 4 is the exit plan. So when you're doing something like the 14-day metabolic reset, you need an exit plan, and that plan is called reverse dieting. After the 14 days, we would add 300 to 500 calories above his initial baseline, mostly from carbs and that bump in healthy fats. And depending on what your goal is, you either reverse up to your maintenance level or you stay in a deficit. Now, this is the part where a lot of people freak out because your body will restore water and glycogen, which will actually improve your training and performance while stabilizing your hormones, but it will add a couple of pounds to your frame in the short term. So don't be scared if you see the scale jump up in the short term. It will average out over the course of 1 to 2 weeks. And the final step is to continue until the goal is achieved. So by this time, you've dropped a bunch of weight, your taste buds have changed, and you can now eat a healthier and moderate diet to achieve the rest of your goals if you have more weight to lose. For Brad, our first goal was to hit 200 pounds, and at the time of this video, we are 7 pounds away. And here's the great news. In a short time frame, we've massively improved his health, and on top of the results I just mentioned in the intro, he has dropped his visceral fat by 60%. This is what happens when you have a plan dialed in and a client who is motivated to change his life. So the metabolic priming protocol is a science-backed fat loss system designed to rapidly burn fat while protecting muscle. We kick it off with a 14-day protein-sparing modified fast, which resets your metabolism, crushes cravings, and jumpstarts results. Then we layer on top of that strength circuits to preserve lean mass and build muscle, and use something called shadow movement to keep your daily burn high. Finally, we want to reverse out of the initial phase to stabilize hormones and lock in results. This is not a diet. This is a strategic metabolic intervention to rewire your body and transform your health fast. If you are looking to drop a good amount of weight in a short time, this might work for you. Now, something you already know is that weight loss is easy, but keeping it off is the hard part. So I did a video on the exact system we use to help our clients keep the weight off, and you definitely want to be watching this if you have any goal of losing weight, and you can check it out over here.